Guys, thanks for watching my very first Adobe tutorial video. I figured that for any reason you guys can't come to the meetings or anything, or if I went way too fast during the meeting, because we do only have an hour, it would be super beneficial to sort of give a video recap of what we did and what I taught. So here we are. Today in our meeting, we learned about portfolio building and Adobe's Behance website. So let's just get right into it. So yes, portfolio building and Behance.com. These are two amazing things that are offered on just Adobe.com, but you do have to have a Creative Cloud account. So with that being said, if you have not downloaded your 7-day free trial yet, please do so using this link. And the program that we will be using today mainly is Photoshop, as Behance and portfolios are online. But any other programs that your heart desires with Creative Cloud can be downloaded with this amazing link. So feel free to do that and follow along today. So let's just get right into it. So the benefits of a portfolio are pretty clear. You know, it's something that is visual and it's total conversation starter in an interview. It goes the extra mile when describing your past jobs and accomplishments and experiences in those jobs by being able to, visually show them instead of just saying, I worked this fashion show. You can show the fashion show, you can show the photos that you took at the fashion show, you can show the styles that you put together, or even for me, it would be like the flyer for the fashion show. Anything that you did that can be visually shown should be on a portfolio. So with that being said, it can be used for many careers and not just graphic design. And I think especially within fashion, everything is so super visual. Having a portfolio is a total key for success within the fashion industry. So myportfolio.com is Adobe's portfolio website. So the homepage looks like this. You are signed in with your Creative Cloud, so everything is in one place. Typically, if you don't have one, it'll say build your portfolio here, and you can choose from all of these awesome layouts. Some are geared towards photography, some have, different just layout ideas, so pick whatever you fancy. And another thing that is great about this is I used to have this layout. That's why it says continue editing. So it kind of stores all of your previous portfolios in there as well, which is kind of nice in case you have a change of heart or something like that. All right. So building our portfolio, mockups, mockups, mockups. Mockups are my favorite thing ever. It honestly just makes any project look so much more professional and so much more realistic, because it literally is a quote-unquote mock-up of any object, be it as simple as like a book or a magazine, or even beauty products, shopping bags, branding for even restaurants. I've seen a lot of cool like menus and things like that. And you can honestly just Google newspaper mockup and a bunch of free downloads will pop up, but there are two sites that I particularly love, and that is Mockup World and Elements.Envato. That one you can pay a monthly fee to have unlimited mockups, which for me, since I have a newfound love for mockups, it's totally beneficial. But there are a bunch of free ones as well, so honestly you would just type in newspaper mockup and let's just see all of the amazing things that pop up. You have this awesome cute little table with coffee and a phone, the cool shading and the layers of the newspaper that just makes it look so much more realistic. And with a simple smart object in Photoshop, you can put your design right there. So before we get into Behance, let's actually go into showing you how to use these mockups. So you would typically just hit downloads, it'll go into your downloads, and it's a Photoshop file. You open it up in Photoshop. I have this one curated towards my portfolio. I like to have usually the same background and things like that, so let's just use this one for today. And so I want to cover the Media Mavens event that we had last semester. I did all of the advertising and marketing, the flyers, things like that. And I also, helped organize the event when it came to the catering and all the minor details. So I have a lot of things to show for that. So first things first, the number one thing to remember in Photoshop is you're working in layers. And say I wanted to move the iPhone, I had to be on the iPhone layer. With these mock-ups, since they are done by professionals that totally know what they're doing and they try to make it as easy as possible for you, they label all the layers, which is super helpful because it can get kind of complicated. So let's go into the iPhone, and I want to put in a screenshot of the Instagram story when we first announced the Media Mavens event. So doing this, the number one thing you want to remember is smart objects. So what is a smart object? It's basically how I described it today was a Photoshop file within a Photoshop file. And this will make more sense once I click on it, but it essentially just places an image within another image, and it just makes it look pretty, and sometimes there's pre-settings that like have shadowing that makes it look more realistic. And how you can tell a smart object is by this little square dog-eared, I guess it's a piece of paper. And when you double click it, it'll take you to the other Photoshop file within the Photoshop file. And there, usually they'll have some great little instructions that says, place your screenshot here. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll go in, and this is the teaser that we used. You simply just drag it in and drag it up to size it correctly. And when resizing things, make sure you hold down the Shift key at the same time as moving the arrows so it doesn't morph the photo. So if I am not holding Shift, it makes it look all funky. We don't want that. So just always remember to hold down Shift. So I have my photo within the photo looking good, so I just gotta hit Command S for save. And there you have it. It is inside the iPhone now and looks like it is on the screen. And this is a lot smoother. It looks a lot better than just if I were to drag in the image and put it on top of the iPhone. The screen that kind of like curves in here wouldn't be visible, and it just wouldn't look as professional. So let's go in and do the same thing for the iPad Pro. See, it is labeled, luckily. So I'll go in, find my smart object with the symbol, double click it, and here I want to put in the main flyer that we use to market our event. And so here, as you can see, it's not the same exact size as this mockups template, but I can't really make it any longer because it will cut off some of the images. So I typically just take a box and put it behind. There's already a black box there, luckily, but just do any small adjustments like that to make your mockup look as pretty as possible. Hit save, and there you have it. It is in the iPad. So this just looks so much more professional and realistic as opposed to just uploading these two screenshots of the flyers that I made. This kind of gives the illusion of what these tools were actually used for and how they looked on an iPad or when you're actually viewing them live or on a piece of paper or anything like that. And it just really goes the extra mile when describing and illustrating the things that you have done. So I would just save as the Photoshop file just to ensure that if you need to go back and change anything you can, but for the sake of this, let's just save it directly as a JPEG. And with myportfolio.com, the sizing and everything doesn't really matter, so I just make it as high as possible. And now let's go in and upload. So I hit Edit My Portfolio. And go down to Add a Page. I typically like to preface everything with what organization or what job or what place I was working at. So this is Profashionals, Media Mavens 2017. Oh. Let's try that again. Sorry, everybody. Oh, some technical difficulties here. Let's just refresh the page. Well, yep, I guess this is good to know. You can't try to edit your portfolio in multiple tabs. All right, let's try this again. Third time's a charm. All right. Please work. Okay, great. So it'll typically take you to the content page first. So this is where you would upload all of your photos and mock-ups. So here I have the pamphlet, which I also mocked up, the same type of thing, except it's a piece of paper and, you know, it has a nice shadow behind it, so it looks realistic. And I will take all of these event photos just to show what the event actually looked like and things like that. All right, and let's add in the one that we just made as well. All right, and there you have it. And if you have any desired order or anything, you can simply just hit the edit button, reorder the page. Sometimes it's nice to play with the width and alignment, things like that. I think it's good for now, so let's hit save and go back to the main page editor. And here is where you can fix the header and everything. And in here, put the page description. I already had one written up. As for page descriptions, it is super, super important to make these as descriptive as possible and to really show what the things you actually worked on. Like, the biggest critique that my mentor had when I put together my portfolio is that I didn't give myself enough credit, actually. You know, I would have the magazine that I worked at this summer, and I didn't even mention that how my name was mentioned in the masthead, which is super awesome, and it was a great opportunity, and that was definitely something to showcase. And, you know, I needed to say, like, I actually designed from scratch these pages, see below type of thing, and not just like, oh, I worked on this magazine, here's what the magazine looks like. You know, you have to be as precise as possible. So here I kind of just went in about the event, why we made it, and things like that. And then as for the look of it, this is kind of just what I've taken as a liking for mine. But you guys can do whatever you want, play around with it. Super easy to troubleshoot and use. If anyone is looking for a new font, I love Railway. I think it's super pretty. No, I actually did that the wrong way. 16, and then my title is Oxnext. If you are going to play with fonts like I did, it's typically advised that you only use 2 in your theme of your website. 3, you know, frees a crowd, so it's not recommended that you use more than 2. So update live site. Almost there. All right, there you have it. And so now this brings us into a perfect leeway into Adobe Behance. So once your portfolio item is live, it will ask you if you want to share it to Behance. So for the sake of this, I will share it. And let's take a look at Behance. So Behance is essentially the LinkedIn of the art world. Today, Sarah, the president, actually said if LinkedIn and Instagram had a baby, it would be Behance. And I couldn't have described it any better. It basically just allows users to share their portfolio project on a social media type platform. People can follow you, they can like your projects, they can share your work, and you can even find jobs, and there's a Behance app to keep up with it, which is super fun. So let's get into it. Alright, so this is the project that just got posted onto my Behance. This is what it looks like. See, there's views, likes, there's dislikes, that's kind of mean. And it's just all of the it's basically just the posts on my portfolio, but in a social networking type medium. So we can go to my profile, and all of the projects are featured here, and it's totally linked with your actual portfolio. You don't even have to put the link in your description. They do it for you. Everything is all in one place. It's super amazing. Here's some of my stats. I just did this a couple days ago, so hopefully I'll be growing. But here's all of my portfolio things, and it shows up on people's activity feeds if they follow me, and on Discover feeds as well. You can see some awesome stuff, like I'll toss that a like, that's awesome. They probably, see, look at all of these great bottle mock-ups that they used. You know, I'll appreciate the post. I can follow this lady, she seems cool. I guess it looks like they have some live things. Yeah, Adobe is really great where they have live tutorials from industry professionals and things like that, which is accessible with your Creative Cloud account. And here is another exciting part, is jobs. And so here it's graphic designer for this company. I can click on it, I can probably apply from here, I can see the company and if it would be a good fit. This is like some of their projects and their work. You can see their team members. It's like a LinkedIn and an Instagram. It's awesome. And it's honestly a great way to get inspiration as well. You can follow people, and it even takes your networking the next step further with, seeing people's work and appreciating, quote unquote, their work and talking about things and finding a job. Alright, so I know that was a loaded tutorial today, so I'm very happy that I was able to do this video so you guys can do it at home if you missed the meeting or if I talk too fast during the meeting. So the things to remember is that anyone can benefit from a portfolio, whatever career path you want to take. A portfolio will help you get there. And when making your portfolio, be sure to use mock-ups made in Photoshop to display your work, to just go the extra mile to make them look more professional and realistic. And Adobe Behance connects to your portfolio, is the social networking of the design world. You can also network, find jobs on there, and it's a really great community for like-minded people. And Adobe Portfolio and Behance are free to use and can be accessed anywhere. And with the program we used is Photoshop today, it can be easily downloaded with the 7-day free trial of Creative Cloud. So I'll do a last little shameless plug of the link. Please use this link to download it. And I guess that's pretty much it. Wow, I just did a video tutorial. This is so exciting. I hope my voice isn't too annoying. I hope I didn't go too fast. Feel free to email me, email the Profashionals email with feedback. I think this is a really great addition to the ambassador program that we can do that can just keep you guys more involved and engaged and really show you the awesome things that Adobe Creative Cloud has to offer. All right, so I guess I'm signing